Okay, so the group stage is done. 48 teams become 32, and now it gets real. For a lot of the people, the World Cup actually starts today. So, before I go through my full bracket, I just want to add that I think this group stage was fascinating. It was extremely exciting in the beginning, and it felt like we might see results that we can't even think of anymore. But it did become a little predictable towards the end, which is understandable given the quality some of the teams have. But there were moments, Spain being held by Cabo Verde, nine African teams going through. I think that's amazing for football. The smallest nation ever to reach a World Cup knockout stage on their debut. So that is special. It's time. Let's move on to the bracket. Okay, so Germany beat Paraguay. I think that's pretty simple. So is France versus Sweden. I think France are too good for Sweden to give them any sniff. South Africa versus Canada. I think South Africa do deserve a bit of credit given their performance, but I think the home advantage will push through. Now, this is the one that's most people might not agree with me, and I think Morocco go over Netherlands. I know, but Morocco have held Brazil, and Netherlands have not had to face too many difficult teams. One team that they did face, they drew with in Japan. So I think the Moroccan rise continues and they move through. Brazil versus Japan. I think this will be a very good game of football. I think Japan have the quality to actually provide us with an upset as well. But I think at the end of the day, the Samba juice will come through and Brazil will go through. And Ivory Coast versus Norway. I think Norway have a bit more quality, a bit more big game presence that'll get them through. Mexico versus Ecuador, I think the home team does make it to the round of 16. The home advantage might be a bit too much. England versus Congo, I think that's the easiest of the lot. Argentina versus Cabo Verde, I think this is where the fairy tale for Cabo Verde comes to an end. Argentina are too good. Australia versus Egypt. On paper, Egypt have a bit more quality, but Australia have done well. But I still think that quality will get Egypt through. Switzerland versus Algeria. Algeria actually provided us with the game of the tournament so far against Austria in literally the last game. But this is where the journey ends. Switzerland will go through. Colombia versus Ghana. I think this will be an extremely physical and aggressive game, but the Colombian quality in the final third will come through. Portugal versus Croatia. I actually believe Croatia can give us an upset given how Portugal have performed in the group stages, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I also feel at some point this Portugal team has got to come together, and round of 32 is the best moment to do so. So I am going to go with Portugal here. Spain versus Austria, I think this is a slightly easy one. I know Spain have been struggling, but they do have a lot of quality, so they will move through. USA versus Bosnia, I think another home team moves into the round of 16. USA do have quite a bit more quality compared to Bosnia. And in the last game of round of 32, Belgium against Senegal, a lot of people are gonna have my head for this, but I think this African team, Senegal, they are actually quite good. They're gonna surprise a lot of people. They already have. They were unlucky with AFCON, and I think in this round of 32, they're gonna surprise us. Germany versus France. That's a final. In older days, that would definitely be a final, and we're getting this in this round of 16. I think it'll be an amazing game, but France are OP, as most people know. I think they are going to get through quite comfortably in the end. Morocco versus Canada. I think the home team's run comes to an end. Morocco have too much quality. In Brazil versus Norway, Haaland and Odegaard, they can just do so much. The Samba Jews will get through in this round. England versus Mexico, I think round of 16 ends another home team's run, and that's where they actually have gone out in most of their tournaments, if not all. So I think England do go through here as well. Argentina versus Egypt. I think Argentina have luck on their side. I think this is an easy route for them. They move easily into the quarterfinals. Switzerland versus Colombia. I think this is gonna be a tight game. Both teams have a bit of quality and have a bit of swagger, but Colombia I think would be too strong. So this game, I think USA actually have a very good chance to move into the quarterfinals and make this World Cup extremely memorable. But I think their freaking team's physicality uh, and being able to compete in bigger tournaments before is going to get them through. Spain versus Portugal. Again, Portugal have not been convincing, but I have a feeling they're going to come through together as a joint team, start playing like a team, and when they do, I think if they start doing that, they have more quality than Spain, so they're going to get through. Now, in the quarterfinals, it'll be France versus Morocco. Again, another team that's pretty good coming against a team that's OP. It's easy. France are going to go through. Brazil versus England. This is going to be a blockbuster, and I think it's going to be a 50-50 game for me. Both teams have the quality, but they can go missing on their day. But I'm going to back the Samba Juice, Matthias Cunha, and they're going to go and move in to the semifinals for me. Now, if you people were having my head for Senegal versus Belgium, you're gonna want to kill me. The Messi fans are gonna want to kill me or murder me for this. But I think by this time, by this round, Messi is gonna get burnt out, and his quality is gonna lag, and that's gonna give Colombia the advantage to move through, as they give us the upset of the tournament and move into the semifinals. Senegal versus Portugal. I think Portugal have more quality. And the semifinal, France versus Portugal. I know this is an easy pick. France are OP, but the last World Cup for Ronaldo, the last big chance for this golden generation of Portugal, I think they are going to come through and they move into the final. Brazil versus Colombia. This is where I think the dream run for Colombia comes to an end. And once again, the Brazilian quality takes them to the final. And this is the big one. The mighty World Cup winners versus Portugal. And I'm going to go for Portugal. With Cristiano Ronaldo and my GOAT, finally, the last feather in his cap.